What's up, guys? Welcome to my first league video. Today I am playing a Raging Bolt Noctowl build. It was a pretty clean 4-0 tournament. I will do further breakdowns on each game I played in a separate video. This is just a very quick rundown. Everything that happened through the night. There was obviously way more that happened in each game than like a quick 2-3 minute cut, but for right now it's just these small cuts. Off rip, I have a really good start. It's an early nest ball with some ogre pawns, which is super good for progression. Nest ball allows me to get fan rotom, which with its fan call ability, I'm able to set up for the rest of the game really. I'm going to grab Ditto for transformative start and Noctowl for Jewel Seeker. Both of these abilities really help set up the rest of the board. Ditto allows me to get a consistent setup into a Raging Bolt or a Latias or anything I need to really set up my bench for that early game. But Noctowl is more for that late game to mid game, or just getting that consistent setup. So I can grab things like Area 0, which is going to allow my bench space to be bigger, so that I can get more ogre pawns for energy progression. And then Sadas is going to allow me to get that consistent energy back on the board on my Raging Bolt, and also access draw support. So really, Fan Rotom is leading into setup for the rest of the game. So with that first turn, you see that I just really got the board set up. I got that Raging Bolt out with the transformative start. Now I have a Noctowl bench ready to be involved in the next turn. And it doesn't look like Nick's going to be swinging. He currently has a Latias and a Fez on the bench. So really at this point, I'm trying to decide what I want to take out. I think I'm going to stick with the Latias here, just because if he has a Latias, it means he has something with a really heavier trade cost, and that's going to really slow down his game or make it less consistent. So focusing the Latias here is doubling the move over the Fez, because it doesn't matter if he gets draw support this early, because there's still plenty of time for like disruptions with Ionos or unfair stamps. At this point, I do get a better idea of what my opponent is playing. He is playing a Gouging Fire with a Roaring Moon, so it's an ancient build deck, so I'm assuming he also runs Sadas Vitality, Earthen Vessel, stuff like that. My main concern here is Roaring Moon. Gouging Fire has a heavy attack, but it's 3 energy, so it's a really inconsistent attack to get off. But Roaring Moon has a 3 energy attack that just sweeps one of my Pokemon no matter what the health is, no matter what it has on it. So that's a really big concern for my deck, because if he can take out a Raging Bolt that has a lot of energy on it, or he can take out my Latias or like an Ogre Pawn that I really stacked up, that will really mess up my game, and it makes the rest of the game a really inconsistent or rough battle if I can't like keep that consistent setup. So my main focus here is for sure getting that Roaring Moon out, or taking out another big prizer that would make it to where he can't use that Roaring Moon without losing. Ideally in this spot, I would have knocked out the Gouging Fire, as it's a 2 prizer, and then if I can get that out, he really can't use Roaring Moon, because Roaring Moon will be essentially killing itself. But instead I have to focus the Pheasantipity, which is fine because it takes away his bigger hand with Flip the Script. He does immediately 9-transfer it back, so it doesn't really matter, but at this point, I've kind of won the game. I'm super ahead of the prize trade. He has 6 prizes left, I have 2, and regardless of what happens, I have the Fez on the bench, and I can get more stuff to progress, so it's really a countdown to the end at this point.
Pass.
I mean, I could have taken a swing at you, but it's really not going to help.
Yeah.
Knocking you out right now is the only option.
I'm just gonna set everything that does not matter to the side.
What's that now?
Setting everything that doesn't matter this turn to the side. Like.
There you go. Give me one. Me too.
Catch for turn, and I'm gonna Teal Dance. And then I'm just gonna prime the Fez.
You got it.
Yep.
Overall, the game was pretty smooth. I got a very good start with the 3 Ogre Pawns and the Nest Ball, and being able to get that Fan Rotom out, get the Ditto out. Like what I was saying earlier, Fan Rotom is really just the staple of this deck. It helps you get really set up. Raging Bolt is just kind of how you win, but Fan Rotom is really determining like the rest of your game. So getting that out really early, like, kind of determines a win or loss. Once again, I get into a really strong start. I have an S-ball in hand, and I have a Raging Bolt already in hand. So I'm obviously got the Raging Bolt into the active, and then I'm going to throw out the S-ball to get that Fan Rotom, same start. And then I also do have a Slithering, which is a super niche card, but you'll see later on in this matchup, it is the best card I've ever seen. Once again, I go with that really generic start, get the Fan Rotom out, get the Dittos out, get everything going so that I can have that really good start. With the Ditto, I grab the Teal Mask because I can't use Jewel Seeker without Teal Mask. Do some Teal Dances, attach some energy here, get the Latias out for my retreat cost. But besides that, it's really just your generic start. So at this point in the game, I know he's obviously playing a Joltik box. He has a Miraidon in the back, a Iron Hands in the middle, and a Pikachu. So Pikachu is my real concern with his deck, mainly due to its ability. Iron Hands is still scary due to it being able to take 2 prizes from my 1-prizers, and I do have really frail 1-prizers. Pikachu's the really big concern. The primary focus with Raging Bolt is being able to one-shot everything. But Pikachu's ability, Resolute Heart, allows it to live on 10 HP regardless of how much I attack it with. I can attack it with 600 and it still won't die. So it's a really big issue because I might at least get to swing twice, correct? But that is why I like to run Slitherwing. Slitherwing's secondary attack is Burning Turbulence. It does 120, which is a weakness to Pikachu. It does 240, so it lives on 10, but the secondary attack is Burn. So in between checkups, Pikachu will die to Burn. So instead of having to take the risk of having to swing 2 times and him probably taking something out, I'm going to just swing 1 time with a 1-prizer, do that 90 damage to myself, but do 240 and have that perfect knockout. So Slithering is the most ideal counter to Pikachu, and it's really the only reason I'm keeping it in that deck.
Draw my 3. Okay.
Optimal this game. Okay.
So I'm gonna prime the Pikachu up and put in Slitherwing. And then I'm gonna swing Burning Turbulence for it's gonna be 240 because of weakness.
Okay.
But he dies to Burn.
Oh, what does burn do?
Burn does 10 damage between checkups, so it does burn, so he dies in between checkups.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Burn actually does 20 damage in between checkups, so that also makes Slithering the perfect counter to a Blood Moon Ursaluna. It's doing a flat 260 to it. But right there you really saw the Slithering in action. It's one-shotting a Pikachu, and regardless of if he takes the 2 prizes with the Iron Hands, that Pikachu Disruption really just messes up everything he did during his first turn. So it's really ideal that I got that out that early and was able to do that. My opponent does take a really good knockout on my Raging Bolt, which I really didn't intend for. I didn't think he was going to get the Blood Moon Ursaluna out, nor the attachment. So at this point, I'm really stuck in a bad spot. I know I have Fizzendipity on the bench, and I don't have Free Retreat. So at this point, the best option is just put in something really easy to retreat and then go back at him. Just Ursaluna is a very thick attacker. 4 energy is required for it because I need to do 280. I do have a Bolt in hand here, so it's not entirely over yet, but it is a very rough turn. Thankfully, I do have Area 0 in hand as well, so I'm able to get a lot of momentum going. I can play Area 0, get Raging Bolts out, get Ogre Pawns out, get everything I need out to kind of maximize my chance of winning.
I think I can get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Play my final bench slot. Or, oh, maybe not. Hold on. Oh no. Attach for turn. Zados. A fighting. And a fighting here. 2, 3. I have Free Retreat, so I'm gonna put this up.
That's knockout, right?
I'm 1 off, but I have energies and Teal Dances.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I'll just
Yeah.
Teal Dance, and then that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Good game, dude.
Once again, I believe that overall the game went really well. That Slithering play was very good, and that's the main reason why I'm keeping it in that deck. It makes Raging Bolt a very good counter to the Jolting box, which is becoming very meta given the Gardevoir standards and everything. But right now, what I really need to focus on is kind of slowing down, because I did take a couple of really big losses. I shouldn't have had to lose the Raging Bolt, and I shouldn't have had to kind of come down to a last second play, but in general, I'd say the game went pretty well.
I don't know. You got it from collectible. I'll get home. Well, I don't know where that was from.
I need
One more.
just one more, and I'm all out of energy attachment options. So that is your turn, my good sir.
My opponent does brick really hard on getting energies or getting anything out on the board, so at this point it's really a donk. My deck is really built to be able to swing for about that 280 to 350 range on the second turn. So it's a fez the bench. I really just need 3 energy attachments. I have 1 for the previous turn. I can get a Sod and Earthen Vessels. So at this point, this game is really over. And then I even remember I have Crispin, so I can get those 3 attachments regardless.
And then the Dustor version back to, let's say, Dustor and Andor. Currently, the side deck
Attached with Crispin, Teal Dance. I can swing Belling Thunder for 210 for knockout in game.
Good game.
Good game.
I mean, it was overall a smooth game, good setup, lucky top decks, but like it was really just my opponent bricked really hard. I mean, it's part of the game. Our draws are really depending the game, and he just couldn't get anything out, and I just had a really good start compared to him, so it wasn't unfair. It was just at that point it was over regardless. Really strong start hand, got a Teal Mask in hand, got a Raging Bolt in hand, and then I'm a Nestball so that regardless of if I have Fan Rotom or not, I can get it in there. I also have a Grass Energy for Teal Dance, so overall it's just a really good setup and a good start. It just really depends on how my opponent plays from here on out.
Look, buddy.
Turn.
Right off rip, I see that he's playing a Gardevoir deck. He has Screamtail on the active, and that's really the only thing that Screamtail is used in his Gardevoir. So I do have to be really careful because Gardevoir is a really hard counter to this deck because it does have a lot of damage in the back. So I'm just going to really be sure that I can take out those early 2 prizes and make sure I keep the Gardevoirs from getting fully evolved.
Attach for turn. Teal Dance. Draw. Bring in the Curlia.
Good me there.
Bolt. And then we're just gonna swing 1 and 2 with Belling Thunder for 140. Take 1.
So as I just mentioned there, I did focus the Curlia really early on just to keep as many Gardevoirs off the bench as possible. I just really don't want to have to deal with them, so making sure that they never get fully evolved is the main premise.
And then... That Iono, or that unfair stat messed me up. I'm just going to attach for turn. And then I think, yeah, only thing I can do is swing 2 for knockout for 140. I'm gonna 2 prize.
about his deck is that he does have a lot of hand disruption. He has Ionos, he played an unfair stamp, which was not expected. So he's able to mess up my hand, which is really rough when I'm playing Noctowl, because Noctowl is supposed to help me control my hand for the rest of the game, but if I can't control my hand, then there's no point having Noctowls. So this is a really crucial point in the game. He finally put a Lily's Clefairy in the active, and that is a really frail 2-prizer. Since the main thing I need to do with Raging Bolt is keep the prize trade and stay ahead of it, having a 2-prizer in the active like that is super good for me because it's a super light attack and I can just swing for it super easy. So I Ultra Ball in order to get a Raging Bolt, and then I have Fez and Mew to get a really big hand stacked up. So the rest of the game should be pretty smooth from here, just as long as I don't like have a hard choke or a really big misplay.
Attach for turn.
Are you already done?
Okay, I'm just gonna swing. Got 3 Belling Thunder for 3. 210. Take 2.
At this point, it is a pretty set-in-stone game. As long as my opponent doesn't really disrupt my hand, thankfully he plays an Orvin, and he already used Unfair Stamp, so my hand is pretty safe. He does decide to go for my Pheasantipity, which I think was an interesting choice, because I think he kind of knew I had a Soda's Vitality in hand, so I would have personally targeted a Raging Bolt, but I don't think he really had the opportunity to take it out. So he used his last Monkey Door to knock out my Fez with the Gardevoir's attack, and then from that point, I'm really just set up to get a knockout here, so long as I can top tick the right things, get the right things with Mew, but for the most part, it's really set up.
I think I got it. Till dance. Draw. Touch for turn. Positive. And then it's only 310, right?
Yeah. Well, it's at 290, 280.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Good game, dude.
Overall, just super thankful for the night win. Super clean and easy 4-0. No major misplays, a couple small trip ups here and there, but as a whole, the deck was really flawless and smooth and consistent with what it was trying to do and what its goal was. So just really thankful for that 4-0, and hopefully I can continue into the future into some harder league challenges or league cups. I appreciate the watch. I hope that you can like and subscribe, and if you have any requests on decks to play or anything I could do better in the future, please just leave it down in the comments below. Thank you so much.